Thank you, Chair. I think it's very clear from all the speakers that the issue of touring artists and cultural exchange is really important. And I think it is probably one of the most visible symptoms of the damage and the destruction that Brexit has done, both culturally and economically. If we look at the recent Oasis tour, every single concert brought £55 million in local economic activity to the local area where they were performing. So there's obviously a clear benefit to European cities if UK artists are allowed to tour. But it's not just the big bands that this refers to. I'd like to just focus briefly on orchestras. So the number of UK orchestras touring the EU has dropped by 32% compared to pre-Brexit. And obviously, it's logistically very hard for an orchestra to tour with all the customs regulations and, as discussed, and visa regulations, and particularly the cabotage restrictions, which mean that British orchestras can no longer use their own trucks for transport in the EU, and these are specifically equipped for expensive and sensitive instruments because they're limited to just 3 stops before they must leave. I would like to press the European side here that this is about political will. This is something that could easily be resolved. None of this is insurmountable. You obviously want your students to come to UK universities. We've discussed the challenges of that around fees, and obviously there's a lengthy conversation to be had. But somebody's got to move somewhere, and I would urge the European side here to look at these cabotage restrictions particularly, to look at a cultural exemption to the TCA so that we can get our tourists back on, our touring artists back on the road. People can enjoy the cultural contribution that they make, but also it will support local economies across Europe.